Welcome back. Thank you, everybody. And big thanks to Shayna for 20 gift subs. You tried to sneak it in while I was on toilet potty break. Thank you. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Shayna. We all are very grateful. Again, Shayna, what a generous contributor to the community. Thank you so much for those gift subs. And thank you to Rent Boy for the resub. Welcome back, everybody. I guess, and thank you, Crazy Ken. I didn't mean to forget you, Ken. We're very grateful, and we hope to get you out of that plastic prison one day. But for now, the best we can do is just allow you to sing and dance your hot and sour song and dance for the channel. Thank you, Ken. We love you, Crazy Ken. We are really sad that you're trapped in your plastic soul prison, and we're gonna try to get you out. So, everyone just like hold Ken in your thoughts. Lost his arm. It's okay, Ken. Be okay. Look at his cool arm and doing the Crazy Ken pose. Gotta put that boy back together. You know, we gotta make sure we can keep it like that. Keep that Crazy Ken pose. All right, we're gonna put you back together in a little bit, Ken. But for now, we're gonna have to get started on The Last of Us DLC, which has won the poll. So thank you, everybody, for hanging with us through the break. We are going to go to the main menu here. I've unlocked New Game Plus and Speedrun mode. Wow. Should I speedrun the game? Nah. Wait, how did I do? Oh, Left Behind. Alright, oh, Kokia. Very generous. Thank you, Kokia. Thank you for those gift subs. Big thanks to Kokia. Is Kokia correct, or is it Kochia? Or is it Kakia? Kakia? Kokia. Kochia? Kochie? Kochie. Kochia. Kakia. Kokia? Kachia. Okay. Thank you, everybody. It's time for The Last of Us DLC. Let's see how this works. Alright. Alright. Let's put it on hard, yeah? Gotta be hard.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Permadeath. Ooh. Nah. I turned on permadeath. Thank you for the encouragement, Fox Loser. Let's see, who did we get an answer on Kochia, Kakia?
What? Fireflies?
Get down.
Like chat. Oh!
Who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, wait, what is this DLC? I've done, oh fuck. Right, I remember that.
Joel. Put your arm around me.
What is this game mode gonna be? I have no idea what this is. So it takes place during the game?
I think we're safe. Joel?
It's like her time in between.
Joel, here. Oh, get up.
Got it.
You gotta tell me what to do. Come on. You gotta get up. Joel?
All right. Okay, so... Oh my god, what?
Riley?
Ow. I
landed on my hip.
What the hell?
Oh shit, that's
I thought
Riley.
I was bitten.
I know.
Oh, we just learned about Riley.
You're not gonna kill me, are you?
Oh, these girls are best friends.
I haven't seen you, and I don't even know how long.
45 days.
Are they
Oh.
roommates?
46, technically. Wanna know what I've been up to?
All this time, I thought you were dead.
Yeah. Here. Look.
No way.
Still no roommate?
Oh, so they're
I
not
had to
roommates.
sleep under Liz for 3 years, and you know how bad that girl smelled.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't sleep under Liz.
You're a firefly.
All right, it's time. Let's. What, do we get to flirt? What do we get to do? Are we gonna? Are we
Still have it
gonna?
up. What? What are you doing?
Are we gonna chat? Are we gonna throw some chat?
I'm making sure I don't get caught with a firefly in my room.
Relax. There are no soldiers on the entire floor.
Is this gonna be a dating sim?
Hey. Are we cool?
Are we cool?
I disappeared and you're mad. And I owe you an explanation. Let's get out of here and I'll tell you all about it.
It's
All
this
right.
morning, and I have military drills. You know, where we
Are
learn
we
how to kill
shipping?
fireflies.
Are we shipping them
Put some
too?
pants on and let's
God,
go.
my hair's getting too long. Cut that.
I'm so
Look at that. That's crazy.
Oh, come on. When have we ever gotten into trouble?
Keep that out of my face.
Come on, give me something. Fuck! Oh, here we go. Okay.
What? Oh, we're
Sorry,
back here? That's not my girlfriend.
Jesus.
Is that gonna do it? He needs some milk.
I should buy us some time. I'll find something to stitch you up.
He needs. He needs some milk. This
Callus?
boy.
Keep an eye on him.
Callus. Who's Callus? Oh, that's the horse's name. That's cute.
I'll be back in a flash. Promise.
Okay. I wish that there's a version that I wish that they would have just added this to the game.
I totally got this.
Because this feels kind of crazy.
All right. Now where the fuck do I go?
Bonkers to like go back and play this now. You know what I mean? Like I would have loved to just do this during the game. I just finished it. It was a great conclusion. And we go back and it like But even if they went, Merritt, even if they went back to the Riley part and like did a series of flashbacks and just gave us like Ellie time, I feel like it would have improved the story back there. And nothing in my inventory. Ellie's putting her hair in a ponytail. That's cute. All right. Paulina, that's smart. I wish I had known to do that. And Go See Socks, I'm probably going to stay on for another hour. And then I will be finishing this DLC another time. Gotta find some stuff. I really need stuff. I'll be pretty fucked if there's any bad boys. Because I don't have any things. Like, not a single thing. Don't even have a brick. Is this open? No. Was this open? No.
Shit.
There's clickers. This is, I mean, this is sick. Sculpture for a mall. And it feels like it's gonna be topical. Ah! Fuck. It gets me. Even the fucking sound at the beginning gets me. Alright. Weston's. Oh yeah, hell yeah, let's go. Got a brick. Yo, this scared me. That lady. What's up? Weston's flu shots now available. We care. Weston's. Oh. Heard something. Some kind of rat? Coming around the corner looking for some food?
Oh, come on. First aid kit.
I think it's gonna be in that first aid kit that's sitting there very conveniently. Okay, so what do I need? Some keys? It's gonna be on like a clicker body, or is it gonna be in here? No, it's not gonna be in here. It's gonna be tricky to get inside, I think. Oh, there's gonna be this. Pharmacist went crazy and attacked me. I hit him pretty hard. He's unconscious. Locked him in the American Princess store next door. Please get him the combinations 353031. That's who's gonna have the key. That's gonna be the bad guy. What's this?
Of course. Everything's picked clean. Anything? Anything?
Nothing? No bullets? People are saying I look like Dylan from The Quarry. I like that game, but if I was to, I would like to be the Hag. That's who I would be. If they recast and did a movie.
What the hell?
I'd like to be the Hag.
Did you just swallow the
Or the
pills and
bear.
leave the bottle? God.
Alright, I guess there's nothing else in here. I gotta go outside. Okay, American Princess. Where is that? Is this it? American Princess.
35 right, 3 left, 31 right. That worked.
Yeah, this mall, this is really looking like a lot of American malls these days. Unfortunately. Which is not to say that I like malls. Except for, of course, Charlestown Square, Newcastle, Australia. It's my favorite place in all of Australia. But the American Mall has died in recent years, unfortunately, because the whole system that they had set up was that that would be the only walkable space for many Americans. And so it's kind of unfortunate because now, you know, America being such a car-dependent urban design that was built that way because of lobbying by the automobile industry, now most people in America don't have any physical places to interact and share communal space. Which is why, however, now we're all here, right? On Twitch. Isn't that what we're doing?
Shit, spores.
We're making a communal space on the internet.
Jump out at me. Go ahead and fucking do it.
So it's good to see you here. I'm sorry about American urban design. Ooh, giraffe. This sucks. I hate this store a lot. Hate that. Are there any guns in this American Girl doll shop? Because I could use one. Gosh darn it. Alright, where's the bad guy? I got my brick ready. Scared.
Yuck.
Oh, there he is. Oh, fuck. Damn, sucks.
Oh, man. Don't come to life. Don't come to life. Nothing.
Come on. Give me the loot. Hell yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna. Oh, god damn it. Oh, fuck me.
God damn it.
Ugh.
Alright. Key.
Aw.
Let's do it.
He used to be alive. Think about me while I'm off. I'll be missing you, but not too much, Laura. Aw. He used to be alive and in love. And now he's that. Damn. Sorry, bro. Let's get out of here.
Oh, shit.
I hate this. Is that Laura? Is Ouchie in the chat? Ouchie, what do you think? Do you think, I mean, she's, like, what do you think of that ass? What do we think about the dump truck on this clicker? I mean, she's like a little, like, she's kind of throwing it back for me. Look at that. All right, ma'am. See you soon. Okay, cool. Ain't nobody thicker than a clicker. That's right, Ashes. I just want to know what that cordyceps forehead do. You know what I mean?
Yes. No.
Yeah, I mean, was the idea that it's just, there's gonna be like everything I need in this little like loot crate?
Gotta have something.
Military helicopter will have something.
Hang in there, Joel.
Can I get a fucking gun or something? I'm sick of this. I'm just trying to kill things
Not this way.
without feeling bad. Before I start The Last of Us 2, and then everything has to be all complicated. You have to like deliver a message through the use of art. Oh jeez, that's not right. Okay. And yeah, actually, I never really did. I ever talk shit about it? I never judged you for the clicker thing. I'm open to anything, you know? Like, shouldn't limit yourself. There's a lot out there, and you know, it's maybe a clicker is gonna be the one for you, and I'm open to that. You know, you can't knock it till you try it.
Yeesh.
All right, what's this say? Chief Warrant Officer Larry Caulfield died. Oh, thank you for the encouragement, Caitlin. Thank you for the posture check. Encouragement check. Doing all right today. That's right. Okay, Chief Warrant Officer Larry Caulfield died bravely this afternoon. We're flying back to I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care about. Why do you write that down? I don't care about that. Don't you have people to...
Well, at least I can use this.
You see, you didn't do it. Oh, I got some health kit recipe. Okay. Gotta use that on Joel. I gotta use it to myself, I see. Oh, so this is teaching me how to play the game all over again? Can I not get through there?
Here we go.
Oop.
Hurry! Up here! Oh, man. That was close, huh?
You're kind of fast there. I'm impressed.
Thanks.
Well, come on. Up we go.
Oh.
How did you find them?
Me and Riley.
Yeah.
Gonna hang out.
Firefly you bit and stole his gun.
Hang on 1 second, chat. I'm just gonna go grab a brew. I'm gonna crack a brew. BRB, 1 minute break. Okay, we're back. Just needed to. Oh, was that ASMR? How's that? All right, cracking open a cold one. Cracking open a cold one for everybody's favorite teenage lesbians. Let's
I saw
go.
him walking down the street, so I tailed his ass. I follow him into this alley, and all these fireflies ambush me. They took me right to their hideout, to Marlene.
Were you scared?
Terrified. I thought this time she would actually shoot me. But instead, she just says, "What took you so long?" She was expecting me.
And she just made you a firefly?
Something like that. That whole almost killing me thing was a test. She wanted to know I was committed.
Oh.
Come on. We're making good time. Who do you hang out with these days?
I don't know. No one really.
What about Tino and the rest of the guys? How are they doing?
Riley, those are your friends.
But you talk to them.
Yeah, I guess.
But I feel different about you, Riley.
Have you found
found the light yet?
Oh, har har.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend your people. So what? You buy into this whole thing now?
All I know is that I'm not a soldier. "30 days, my ass. People are getting infected.
This kind of graffiti is so funny to me.
You've run into more infected?
As part of my initiation.
That just sucks.
You know, let's talk about something else.
All right.
You see, yeah, so just for Mita, we did just learn that in The Last of Us. Again, I wish that they would have just told me to play the DLC at that point. Instead of doing it this way. Whatever.
Oh shit, hide!
I mean, Merritt, it's okay. Like, it would just happen a second ago. But I guess if people are just joining us.
Man, sorry. I'm a bit jumpy lately.
Got it.
Careful, it's wet.
Hey, so
Sorry.
maybe I should join the Fireflies.
Ellie. That was the first thing I asked Marina. She wants you safe at that stupid school. I'm not even supposed to come see you.
Why does she care?
She's worried I'll get you into trouble.
Damn, we gotta get out of Boston. I can't believe that after all this time, the game would send me back to Boston.
Hey,
Like,
remember the
yeah.
first time I brought you here?
What are we doing here, Riley?
Yuck.
I have a surprise for you.
What? Is it a dinosaur?
Maybe.
I'll be your friend again if it's a dinosaur.
Is it Dunkin' Donuts? I mean, I'm fine with being back here if we can go to Dunkin'. I want to cruise around in the Dunkin' tunnels. What's
You know,
this?
I got them back.
Our water guns? Bullshit. You telling me Corporal Dickhead gave them back to you?
Of course not. I had to sneak into his office. Riley, I had them in my hands.
But your ass got caught.
But my ass got caught.
What'd he do to you?
Scrubbing duty for 2 weeks. Bathrooms.
Oh, Ellie. I keep telling you to give up on them. They're never coming back.
That's cute that they have her just run along that thing. That's so what a teenager would do. I mean, there's little touches like that that makes for a great game.
You heard?
Yeah. Do you know how it happened?
They said he just fell off his horse. Heart attack or something.
Man. Well, how many people get to die of natural causes in this world?
None that I know of.
Exactly. So, let's see what he left us.
Really?
Wine? 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 What's this?
What? Is this Winston? Man, guy used to be handsome.
Bingo. Want some?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Watch out, that's not beer.
Please.
What is it? Oh god.
Oh my god.
Hi Momo, I have not played this
disgusting.
before. This is my
Told
first
you.
time playing the DLC. We
Cheers,
just finished the regular game.
Ooh,
What is this booze that we're
that's
drinking?
strong. Come on.
I hope in the apocalypse people are still making good whiskey. Like you really need it.
What happened to Princess?
I assumed after Winston died, they took her. Poor horse. She's probably out there terrified.
Man. Ellie, help me lift this.
I hate falling through. It always feels like we're gonna get crushed.
It's fine. I'll go first.
No, 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 no. No, no, no. Fuck that.
You know what? How about we find another way?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Up here?
Hey, Riley.
Boost you up?
You know what? I'll get you up and over.
Paulina, I'm drinking a Sloop Pills. Sponsor me, Sloop. Delicious.
Well, you see anything? Riley?
Oh. Oh my god, spooky.
You dinked 2 times today.
That got me, actually.
How the hell did we never find this place? Come on, I got the perfect mask for you.
Riley.
Perfect. Check it out.
Ooh,
Is that like the
Silas.
Wolfman or something?
Silas the dog boy.
So stupid.
Yeah, badass. Now roar.
Ellie does not like this. She does not like this. 1 second. 1 second, 1 second. Oh, okay.
Roar. Ellie. Fucking roar.
Oh, now I'm not joking, bitch.
Great timing.
There she is.
Great timing, Lucy. Thank you. All right.
Man, look at all this stuff.
Wow, look at all this stuff. Look at that. Oh, they got Nathan Drake costume. That's cute. Nice. Grim Reaper, Nathan Drake, Ninja, Pig, Jack, Grim Reaper, Silas the Dog Boy, Class Trader,
Cooler.
Ninja. Sick.
What? Vampires are like my thing. I am Count Dracula.
Damn, take that off. I did not like that.
Actually, Countess. I am Countess Dracula. Yeah.
Alright. Alright, enough playing, Riley. Either let's kiss or have fun. What do you say?
Bought this stuff? I don't get it.
We're gonna have an endearing time. Can I take the mask? Oh, fuck me! That was good, Riley. Okay, this is kind of cute.
Wow. That was stupid.
Damn. Oh my god, if Ellie had a Boston accent. It's clickers. I can't do a Boston accent. I can't. I'm not gonna do it.
Cauldron of Shadows, True Horror Tales,
Clicker.
Fearful Fable.
Oh yeah, I'm from Boston. Oh, I'm from Boston. How's that? I parked my car at Harvard Yard. Does that sound like Boston?
What do you think? Adorable. Why, thank you, kind pigeon.
That's cute. I feel like this is. I mean, this fit for Ellie.
Dude.
I mean, this is definitely. This makes sense to me. This feels like it's her. No?
Ask Skeleseer a question and shake for your fortune. Okay? Are we gonna die today? Nothing. Huh.
You gotta turn it over, genius.
Oh. Seems dreadfully unlikely. Ah. Whew, what a relief.
Nice. What does Boston sound like? It's like Mark Wahlberg.
More vampires. Guess I'm
What? Me? No. I'm Mark Wahlberg. I have a terrible history of racial violence. It's well documented, and yet I keep working in Hollywood. I'm Mark Wahlberg. How's that?
The ruby slippers! What have you done with them?
Oh my, Toto. What will we do?
Ghosty Socks
Oh,
Boston
man.
is inside all of us, and so sometimes you just need to sometimes you just need to look within and try your best to get rid of the Boston within, you know, defund Boston. Alright, I'm a witch, let's go. Is Cena from Boston? I thought Cena was from Florida. I love Cena. I fuck with Cena. Is he
I got
from
an idea.
Boston?
See those cars down there?
I could have sworn he was from
Yeah,
like
red
Florida
and
or
red. I'll be
Southern
blue.
California or
Throw
something.
brick. Whoever breaks
I know that he had his come up in
Are
LA.
you kidding me? I'm like the brickmaster.
Right. Loser has to answer a question. No sarcasm.
What is this, truth or truth? All right, fool, you're on.
Bam!
What's the contest? Gotta throw it through the windows?
Wrong card, genius.
Oh, what?
Oh.
I think I didn't know what the premise of the game was. I gotta hit as many of the red cars windows as possible. Got it, okay. Analyze these cars.
Hide.
All right.
There.
Yeah.
Come on, I gotta win. I don't want to answer a question. I want to play everything close to my chest.
Fuck yeah.
And that's how you do it.
I didn't understand the premise of the game right away, Riley.
That's one. One to go. Yes! Rick?
Fucking master!
My car had tougher windows.
I'm the Brickmaster.
Yeah, whatever, loser. All right, question time.
I'm scared.
One large chicken. I'm answering the question. I'm just fucking with Boston.
Okay.
No, I didn't mean to.
You know
Oh
what?
shit.
Forget it.
Oh shit. What did I do?
Wow. Okay.
How do I go back? Restart checkpoint.
Rick?
Fucking master!
My car had tougher windows.
Yeah, whatever, loser. All right, question time.
I'm scared.
Okay, Riley.
Okay. Before you left, why did you lash out on me?
I needed some space to figure this stuff out. I
Wow.
told you that, but you just... You wouldn't leave me alone.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I
but
cared about you.
I know. I do. Look, that's the past. And we're here now. So, come on. Let me just show you this thing. We're almost there.
wait, how do I flirt with her? How do I tell her that I had a dream about her? That's the way to flirt for girls, right? You gotta say I had a dream about you. Is that how it works?
What are we doing here? The place is creeping me out.
That's what I read on the internet.
You know how we thought they only powered certain areas of the city?
Yeah.
Follow me.
Okay.
So, turns out, the whole city has power. They just flip the circuit breakers. All you gotta do is flip it back.
Delicious. Okay, well now I'm stuck behind your backpack. Silly.
There's no way this is gonna work.
What did I tell you?
Wait, so the whole mall is lit up?
Let's go find out.
That sounds fun, but it also sounds like exactly how Riley's gonna get bit, and then I'm gonna be sad.
You ready to see this?
Wait, I know what you're trying to do. And I'm really glad that you're not dead.
Good. Kiss.
I mean, I'm glad that we're back together and
I didn't mean it.
Back together.
All that stuff
Chat.
I said before I left. I didn't mean any of it.
This is good. This is healthy
Riley?
communication.
you're such a sap.
Bet you started it.
Oh man.
Are you ready?
Totally.
All right, let's get out there.
Are you kidding?
Oh, I'm back in another mall. Interesting. So this is like a,
How do I
it's a story about malls. It's like a malls story. It's a story about what would life be like in a mall. It's like Paul Blart. Ooh, I got a bottle. Oh no, I have a brick already. I don't want the bottle. I want the brick. I love the brick. Look at this male living space. All right. Yeah, give me those scissors. Everyone remember to take a deep breath. How do we... I climb up this thing? No? I should be able to climb up that.
Thank you,
Oh.
Terry.
Okay, so I gotta
You
turn
wanna
it
get
on. I
this
gotta
on?
follow this yellow cable. Gotta put
Follow the
some...
cables. Right, Joel?
Okay. Gotta follow the cables. Put some gasoline. Oops. Okay. Ooh, ammo. Reload that. Oh, fuck you.
God.
God damn it, cat.
Fucking cat.
Wait, cat? Wait, let me... Come on. I wanna be friends with them. No.
Come on. All right.
Can't slide through there? Okay.
God, that's crazy. Jesus! Are you trying to kill me?
Kitty.
Here we go. End of the line.
Yeah, where's the meow button?
Nothing?
Gotta put some more juice in there.
Damn it.
Okay. What does this say? This says, Private Ellis is taking a turn for the worse. He's burning up and couldn't keep any of his food down. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe the amputation was too late. Maybe when I'm not watching, I'll turn. And the infraction protocol, we did what we had to Officer Caulfield. Who the hell am I kidding? We murdered Larry. Ellis held him down while I shot him like a fucking dog. Can't get his screams out of my head. Regan, please. I still have time. Don't do this. Ellis, what have we done? What if I just leave? What if I just make a run for it? I'm sorry, Ellis. Regan. Okay. Trying to make me care about this guy. I don't care. I care about
I
Joel.
can find some.
The only person I care about. And the cat. What's this? Gasoline. What? I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. I gotta go find more gasoline? What am I supposed to do? Oh, fuck me, really?
Fuck. Stalkers.
Fuck you. Get fucked. You suck. Where are you? Where are you? Stalkers make me so anxious. I fucking hate the stalkers. Okay. I really don't like them. You suck. Eat shit. Fuck. I shouldn't have done that. I wish there was a fucking dodge button in this game. God damn it. I shouldn't have done that. I thought I don't know, I tried to save a bullet.
Is that it?
That was stupid. I should use this brick again. God damn it.
Sounds like it. Okay.
Stupid. Stupid. Stupid, Miles. Fuck.
Empty.
Gotta do better. Gotta do better for this girl.
Also dry.
You know that just by giving
Go
me a
for it.
sniff?
You guys
Thank
can
you for
do
the
it.
encouragement. Thank you very much for the encouragement.
Shit.
And thank you, Kochia. Thank you very much for the gift sub. And Alley of Asgard, thank you for the resub. Alrighty. Oh, there's more bullets too? Dang it. I should not have let that thing touch me before. Okay, where is the gas? This one?
Ah, jackpot.
Go for it. You guys can
Nice.
do it.
Oh, thank you for the encouragement, Ghosty
Close
Socks.
and just siphon it out, right?
Oh, yucky. I hate this part. Oh, yuck. Okay, nice.
Here we go. Okay. All right. That should do it.
Alright, drink up special cola. Reload the pistol.
Come on. All right.
Why is that the first time that I've had to... Oh, fuck. That I've had to refill the generator in this game. Oh, god damn it. Oh, sick.
Note to self.
That was
Don't
convenient.
touch electric water.
Got it. Okay. Don't touch electric water. Cool.
Well, this door's open.
How much time do we have on that? Okay, don't touch electric water. God, I'm gonna have to hop around. Oh, that's water right there. Oh, okay. Well, how am I gonna get home? How am I gonna get back to my stuff? Oh, there's a ladder. I see. Okay.
Easy. Easy. Keep looking straight. Everything's gonna be fine. You're not gonna fall into that water and fry to a crisp.
I could. I'm not going to. Okay, let's get on this truck. And then... Am I missing something? Where am I supposed to go from here? Okay. Open that up. Is that just for supplies? Oh. That water or is that ground? That's water, huh? Got it. Oh, there's another one home. Okay. Wow, Ellie going to work. That's so young. Daddy Bezos would be so happy to see this. What am I supposed to... No? Oops. I see. No. What? Where am I supposed to go? I go up here. And crawl on this. Oh, I see. Okay. I can't crawl. Got it. Got it. Got it. I get it now. It's maybe right in the middle. Oh, fuck me. Also, I think that it's just gonna be easier if I do it this way. Why can't I jump? Come on, game. Come on, game. What the fuck? Seriously? Am I missing? Okay. Oh, shit. It's supposed to be like out this way. Oh, no, it's not. Huh? Huh? I'm pressing the jump. Oh. Okay, that's more of a mind. This is my mind gun failed me for a second there. All right. That was a that was a bit of a an L. It was an uncommon L for my mind gun. Oh, finally! Wow, you're gonna roast me like that? You gotta maintain your mind guns. You know, you gotta clean them. You gotta wipe them, just like Joel does. Give them those little rinses, little rinse wipe. Can I jump down from here, or will I get hurt? Okay, I got it. Oh my god! I almost just jumped into the water. All right.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh my god. No! Fuck off. I don't care how bodacious you are, Clicker. I just want you to leave me alone. I'm not in the mood. Just everyone go over there. 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 Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, fuck that. Where do I go? Where do I go? Fuck me. Okay. Oh god. Alright. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh god. Can he get up here? Oh fuck. Really? Fuck you. Fuck you. Go in the water. You can't see me up here, can you? I'm not gonna waste my bullets on you. Fuck you guys. God, I want to throw the brick in the water so badly, but I need to go get one. Go back to your patrol. Yeah, get over there. Get over there, come on. Get over there. Come on. Come on. Go. Go in the puddle. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Yeah! Yeah, mind gun. Let's go. That worked. That worked. Okay, but the other one didn't get the other one. Yeah, do you see the little shimmy shimmy shake that clicker did? Oops. Give him the slip. All right. Oh. I'm charging the other one. All right, how do I get out of this room? This is stressful. This is very stressful. Oh, here we go. Cool. No problem. Where are you at, Clicker?
Here we are again. God damn it. Where the hell are they coming from?
Fuck, there's more clickers? God damn it. Sick of this shit. Need a brick. All right, I'm the brickmaster. I'm the brickmaster. Go over there. Get over there. Great. God, it's so scary. The clickers are scary. They really are scary. They're frightening. I don't like them at all. I'm sorry, actually. Yeah, Ellie was raised in a barn. She did not close the door behind her. That's not my fault. Do I have to climb this? God damn it, this is rickety. Oh, jeez.
Just be cool.
There's no way to be cool about this. God damn it. Of course, of course. Of course that's what's gonna happen. Okay, great. Got the medicine.
Please be in here. Please be in here.
There we go. No? Is that enough?
I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you go.
Okay. Not letting you go.
You ready?
All right. This is where we're gonna stop it. Good time to stop it. It's been a little bit today. I think I gotta call it. But thank you all for being here. Yay. Ooh. I didn't mean to use. I should change the. What's a better goodbye song? Let's do. All right, I'm gonna do this because what I gotta do, I gotta go clean some leaves off of. I gotta go clean some leaves. I gotta clean up my room too. So we're gonna listen to this song. And then we're gonna raid someone. What do you think, mods? Anyone you want to raid? Kochia, thank you so much for your generosity. 5 more gift subs. Thank you so much, Kochia. It's been lovely to see you be so generous here today. Really appreciate that. And Ariana is going to Puerto Rico for Thanksgiving. And I would like a souvenir for my P.O. box. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Let me try this. Let me just do this real quick. And then... Thank you, Ariana. I don't know. Well, I don't know. And I haven't opened my P.O. box yet. But it's very generous of you. I like little tchotchkes, you know? A magnet or a bottle opener or something. That's always fun. But you don't have to get me anything, but that's very sweet of you. Let's see. So Aru, I'm open to it. It's gonna be up to you, unless let me check who's I'm following. We got ducks on. We got otters. All right. I got to run. Mods, Aru, if you want to choose someone, I'm going to just kick it to the goodbye screen for a sec, but if you don't have anyone, I can just raid the ducks. I'm always happy to. You can't raid? You should be able to do the raid. Oh, really? I can work on giving you the privileges. Is that just editor? I know that Passion and Sharice have done it in the past, so maybe I have to give that. All right, but I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna. All right, I'm gonna. Let's just kick it to the ducks. I'm just gonna kick it to the ducks. All right, I'll see you all in a minute. Peace. Goodbye. Love you all.